Hello and thank you to everybody for helping me get as far as I have on this. I still cannot believe that we are halfway to 1,000 subscribers. So to celebrate, I think it would be nice if you guys got to know a little more about me. So a couple weeks ago, I posted a questions and answers asking video. You guys gave me a lot of comments, so I'm really excited to get started. Also, some of these questions will go in greater depth about, but some of the questions are just going to have short answers. So yeah, let's get started. So this first one is from Peachy, who asked if I can give some editing tips. And I really like this question, and I actually got a couple questions like this regarding creator tips and editing tips. One of the questions is even channel growing tips. So basically throughout this entire video, I'll be giving creator tips, so make sure to stay tuned for that if you want some advice. But for specifically editing tips, how do I word this? If you're gonna add a sound effect that correlates to something on the screen, then make sure you zoom in on that thing. Then make sure that you zoom in on that thing on the screen. So like for an example, let's say like in the gameplay, there's an enemy rushing at me and I add the let's do this sound effect. Make sure that you zoom in on the enemy that's rushing at you so that it's obvious who's portraying the sound effect, like who's saying let's do this. Sometimes even maybe slow down the clip so that the entire sound effect can play out. It just makes the clip look more smooth. Maybe in the future I'll make a whole video dedicated to tips just so I can show examples of exactly what I'm talking about. Peachy also asks if I think Splatoon 1 was worth it, and heck yeah do I think it was worth it. I still have fun playing Splatoon 1 sometimes, and I've even made a couple videos on it recently, like my no squid form challenge and stuff like that. How excited I am for Splatoon 3? Very. I am so excited to see what kind of gameplay is going to be brought by some of these gimmicks and mechanics. And when is my birthday? My birthday is January 8th. So the next question asks, what would you love to see in Splatoon 3? So since the world is being based off of the results of the Chaos vs. Order Splatfest and how Chaos won, I'd like to see maybe a side story or even like DLC shows what the world would be like if Team Order won. Maybe even like a second story mode, kind of like Octo Expansion. I'd also love to see a multiplayer boss rush mode. I just think that would be really fun to face all the storyline bosses as a team, kind of like Kirby True Arena. Who I would want to see for Challenger Pack 11 in Super Smash Bros. And I think my vote has to go for either Master Hand or Taboo from the Subspace Emissary mode in Brawl. I just think it would be cool to see a rep from Smash Bros.'s own franchise as the final character. Kenta asks what I think I would be doing now if I never got into the Splatoon and the Splatoon franchise. And that's a deeper question than it really seems, because like, yeah, if I never got into Splatoon, then I would probably just be making Smash Bros. Content right now. But there's also so many people that I would not have met if I never got into Splatoon. Yeah, I would have been a lot more lonely. B asks, my favorite color is purple. I love purple. This next question by Bandana Squid asks, Chipotle ? And I've had Chipotle a total of 1 time in my life, and I gotta say, it was pretty good. Probably not my favorite food place, but it wasn't bad. This next one asks when I'm streaming again. And given by the amount of people that really want me to stream again, I think I should really stream soon. I'm hopefully gonna stream at least once more by the end of the year. Streaming's pretty difficult for me to fit into my schedule, so I'll really try to get it in again. Acidia asks if I plan on making YouTube a full-time or part-time job. And that's interesting because I already kind of consider YouTube to be kind of a part-time job already. I do spend a lot of time on the videos. Maybe someday it'll be an actual part-time job, but for now, I just enjoy chilling and making casual content for everyone. Rocky River asks, what did my Splatoon character look like before you got Octo Expansion? This. Any embarrassing stories? Oh, I got plenty. I'm gonna go ahead and put a grossness warning, so if you don't want to hear this, go ahead and just skip a little farther. I was in high school, and I had gym early in the day. I not only had a nose condition that made it really hard to breathe, but I was also kind of iron deficient, so any form of crazy physical activity would make me super sick. Well, it was a nice October afternoon, and I had to do the pacer test that morning, and naturally I didn't hold back. I really went for it, this pacer test, thinking that I could handle it, and I didn't even do crazy good on it, but I was exhausted and super nauseous for like an hour. Well, I got into my geometry class, dead silent, right? The desks are all right next to each other, and I'm sitting there, I'm super pale. Like, I'm out here looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I don't say anything, even though I know I'm nauseous, because I just kind of like deal with things without asking for help. And I just kind of looked at this geometry teacher like, oh dear God, help me. Yeah, fast forward like 20 minutes after we get a worksheet, I end up throwing up all over the desk, all over the worksheet. It gets on the person sitting next to me's desk. I feel terrible. I have to go into the hallway. Oh, and to top it off, the next day, the next day when I got into class, the geometry teacher came up to me with a brand new clean worksheet of the one that I threw up on. I was just like, oh my gosh, like that just tops it off. Like he was like, oh yeah, you okay? Then handed me the worksheet, and I just felt like, ah. She also asks, is Bear built different? Oh, Bear's built different, alright. Let me tell you, Bear is built so different. What would I be doing now if I never started YouTube? And that's a really good question. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things would actually be very the same. It's just I wouldn't have the friends and support that I have. Next question from Cosmic Heart asks, earliest gaming memories? Oh man, back when I was a kid, my cousins would come over every Friday night and we used to play Paper Mario 64, but we didn't just normally play it. So basically, because the game was a turn-based RPG, so whenever it would be Mario's turn, my cousin would control the character, and whenever it was the partner's turn, like Goombario or Cooper, I would control the character. So it was just really fun that we took a single player game and made it into a two-player game, kinda. Also, do I watch anime? Now, I do watch me some anime. Some of my favorites are Guilty Crown, Tokyo Ghoul, Save for the End, Plastic Memories, Darling in the Franxx, Attack on Titan. But yeah, no, I do like anime. My opinion on oranges, asks Gobo Squack. Oh man, I do love me some good vitamin C. B also asks, how did I stumble across Splatoon and what made me want to keep on playing it? Well, I actually stumbled across Splatoon because of Sugar Conroy's Let's Play of it back in like 2016. Yeah, I ended up getting Splatoon pretty shortly after that. Splatoon for the Wii U, by the way. He was like, yeah, the Octo Brush isn't that great. The second that he said that, I looked at the thing and I'm like, you know what? I really want to try that thing. And now I still main it to this day, even in Splatoon 2. Saviors asks for channel growing tips, and I do have some channel growing tips. A very hard truth about being a small channel, the first thing you have to accept in that you don't have many actual fans. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, like, maybe some people do, but most people aren't going to view you with the same kind of respect that they would view more popular YouTubers. And you just gotta help each other grow. Like, if somebody comments on your video, make sure to go back to their video and comment on their video and let them know that you're showing them support too, because then, you know, they might want to come back and watch some of your future videos. And yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is the biggest tip is to just work together. Make other small channel friends, and it's great. And I've met so many amazing people on YouTube from supporting other small channels. Blingy asks, what has changed my life since I became a content creator? I'm definitely not as bored. Like, I almost always have something to do, editing to do, videos to watch, videos to make. A couple questions from Balloon here. What I use to edit my videos? I'm using Vegas 15. Sometimes I'll throw my videos into iMovie if there's ever any file corruption. Why did I choose a channel named FrigidLemons? So basically, there's an NPC in Paper Mario 64 that requires you to bring a lemon to him in exchange for information. I believe this is in Chapter 2, and ever since I initially found this lemon as a kid, I've just been obsessed with lemons all the time. And Frigid is just a play and a variation of the name Brigid. Favorite Pokemon is a tough question because I really like Caterpie and Butterfree because of the first couple episodes of the anime. In terms of just Pokemon in general though, I really like Rowlet and Jirachi. Those are probably my two favorites. I do not know which one's like my absolute favorite though of those two. And to top it off, how long I've been playing Splatoon for? I've been playing Splatoon since 2016. Late 2016. Very, very late. So practically for about 4 years, maybe 5. Tyler Anderson asks, 3 games I would want to play on my channel in the future? I really want to do a Pokemon Nuzlocke. That's for one for sure. I would love to stream a Kirby game in the future. Maybe since the N64 emulator, Nintendo Switch Online is coming out soon. And I would also love to stream either Star Tropics or Blaster Master Zero, because I've been really enjoying those games lately. My favorite and least favorite Splatoon songs? I gotta say, I really like Calamari Incantation. That one's just really hype. And for my least favorite song, I don't know the name of it, but it's a battle multiplayer theme in Splatoon 2. It kind of reminds me of a Wild West rodeo theme, and I can never get hype while I'm listening to it during a ranked match or a turf war. I don't know the name of it, but I just never was a big fan of it. Not that it's a crazy terrible song, it's just I prefer all the other ones way more. And for places I want to return in Splatoon 3, I want Mahi Mahi Resort, Hammerhead Bridge, and Bluefin Depot. I really miss all of those stages, and I would love to see all of them come back. Umicat asks, favorite Splatoon weapon? Octobrush Nouveau. I love that thing. I also like the Kensa Gloogadoolies, and the Dynamo Roller. My hugest channel inspiration is definitely Chuka Conroy. I've been watching him since I was a kid. I still watch his videos to this day, actually. Fearless was also a pretty big inspiration. And the channel name I answered a little earlier. It's kind of an interesting, weird story. Chronicles Z asks, favorite childhood game? Definitely Mario Sunshine. That was my first ever game, and I still love it to this day. Chivio6 asks if there's any plans for any sort of series or challenges in Splatoon, and I kind of had a really weird idea. Anytime that there's someone's name is their Discord tag, I'm gonna message it and just see what kind of weird conversation we can make out of that. That sounds like a really weird and fun video idea. How do I edit so well? First of all, thank you. Second of all, I've been playing around with Movie Maker and editing software since I was like 12 or 13, so I've had a lot of experience with this. But it all comes down to just creativity and trying to utilize different zoom in effects and sound effects all at the same time. So Fernopolis wants to know how on earth I managed to find so many small channels and have them in my recommended and comment on them. So basically the story goes, before I started making Splatoon content, I was completely unfamiliar with the Splatoon content scene. Even to this day, the only creators that I watch is VicFion, and then other small channels, occasionally Dude. So when I started to make Splatoon content, I wanted to get a feel for what kind of Splatoon content was popular and what weapons people often use, so maybe I can make some content based off of the lesser used weapons and stuff like that. So I looked up and watched like 30 different recently made Splatoon videos at the time, and most of those just happened to be by smaller channels, so I made sure that, you know, if I watched it, I made sure to show support and comment and stuff. After watching like a good 30 Splatoon videos in a row, I had a lot of Splatoon content in my recommendation, and I just watched and commented on a lot of it. Funny enough, for splashdown cancels, I almost got a splashdown cancel with a sprinkler before. Frogs are pretty cool. Do I have a girlfriend / is there a Mrs. Lemons? There is not a Mrs. Lemons. FrigidLemons is indeed single. Fiction Gamer asks, did I enjoy recording the challenge wheel video? Yeah, it was pretty fun, I'd say. And do I like Greninja in Smash? He's okay, I guess. Definitely not one of my first picks, but he's pretty cool. Fake Phantom asks, what's my favorite video game of all time? Probably Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My favorite gaming OST probably also has to go to the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise. I think that they did a fantastic job on that music. The video on my channel that I'm most proud of, I'd say, is probably my Reject School Play Splatoon video, because I didn't even plan on making that mid-play session. I whipped out the recording equipment, started recording, and I'm really proud of the edits I did on that one as well. And I have not played Hollow Knight. Mr. C Official asks, which Smash character do I hate the most? Definitely Diddy Kong. Ever since I started getting into competitive Smash Bros back in Smash 4, Diddy Kong has always haunted me. And not that I struggle with Diddy Kongs anymore, really. It's just that the memory, the built-up hatred over the years. Do I plan on collab with anybody someday? And who would I want to collab with? I would love to collab with Rocky River again. And I would also really like to collab with Neon. That just sounds really fun. Bread with or without the peel? Oh, with the peel, 100%. That's where all the nutrients are at. My favorite Smash character is definitely Kirby. I've been maining that character ever since Melee, and I've just had an attachment to Kirby ever since. Yeah, ever since I was a 4-year-old spamming rock against my cousins playing Melee, I've been maining Kirby. And that's not going to change anytime soon. And which of your videos is my favorite? If I remember correctly, I really liked the ramen bowl video. Lace Curb asks for tips as a content creator. Well, definitely support each other, right? Like other small channels, make sure to support them, comment on their stuff, like their stuff. Also, I've noticed that the thumbnail is really important. It really can dictate how many views you get. So if there's one thing to really focus on for content, it's the thumbnail. Neon Lights asks, what Nintendo franchise do I think is really underrated? I have to say definitely Star Tropics. Star Tropics hasn't gotten another game since the 90s, and I thought that the gameplay was really fun. The second game actually wasn't released until after the SNES came out, but it was an NES game, so it didn't sell too well. But if they wanted to revive the series, I would love that, and I hardly ever hear anybody talk about it. For other games I'm excited for in 2022, I'm super excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. After that got announced, oh man, that looks so good, and I'm really curious to see what a 3D Kirby is going to be like. And for embarrassing stories, I already told one earlier on. I don't think I'm quite fully recovered from telling that one. I'll definitely share another embarrassing story in a future video. Not Spiral asks if I ever plan on making a Discord server, and I'm really glad that somebody asked this because I didn't know how to really bring this up, but not anytime soon. Maybe sometime in the future, but for now, I don't think I'm really ready to have like an entire large group chat that I have to keep watch of and do bans and all that crazy Discord mod stuff, but maybe sometime in the future. But as of right now, no. Pikmino asks my most anticipated games and my favorite underrated game series. I already answered these two earlier, but for the last one, my favorite Smash DLC character, well, I was definitely most excited over Pyra and Mythra because of how much I love Xenoblade. But when it comes in terms of who I enjoy playing as the most, I'd say probably Sephiroth. I really like playing as Sephiroth. And Joker too. What inspired me to start YouTube? So when I was young, I always wanted to do Let's Plays. I always enjoyed like Sugar Conroy's stuff and the Runaway Guys, and I always wanted to do stuff like that. And how unreal is it that 500 people watch my stuff? That's pretty crazy. Like, I know to like bigger YouTubers, that's probably not much, but to me, that's absolutely insane. Tofu asks, my favorite Switch game, definitely Xenoblade Chronicles 2. One map I would want to come back in Splatoon 3, probably Mahi Mahi Resort. I thought that gimmick was pretty cool. And my favorite Squid Sister song, Calamari Incantation. If that counts as a Squid Sister song, I think it does. Is my age the funny number? I am actually nowhere near the age of the funny number. Yellow Corgi asks, I already answered some of these, but are chicken nuggets good? Chicken nuggets are absolutely divine cuisine, 5-star meal right there. And if I consider myself to be a pro at Splatoon 2, I actually do not consider myself to be a pro at Splatoon 2. I'd say I'm decent, like I'm definitely not running around like a bot, but I definitely don't use pro strat, super jumping back all the time, you know, conserve the special type pro strats a lot of more experienced players use. I handle even a lot of ranked and league games pretty casually. Yoshi asks if I have any secret talents. I can actually sing my ABCs backwards, believe it or not. And I think another one of my secret talents, quote unquote, is bringing people together. Like the amount of times that I've given somebody a shout out on a video and I've went to that person's channel and I've seen someone comment like, yo, FrigidLemons sent me. And sometimes I'll even see them still commenting on each other's videos and stuff. Yeah, I think that's really cool. And now, I've saved the most important question for last. What's 1 + 1? 200,807,970. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for being here and supporting me as long as you have. Even the people that are new to the channel, thank you so much for coming along. And thank you so much everybody for all the questions, and I hope that everything continues to go great. But yeah, until next time, peace.